Welcome. This video is our travel guide to Belfast. We are going to share with you where we stayed, including a room tour, talk about how we got there, how we got around, and arranged for our sightseeing. This video is intended as a companion video to our Belfast adventure video.
We are Next Act Retirement and Travel. I'm Bob.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're glad you've joined us today.
Let's talk first about what you need to do before you even leave the United States. As U.S. citizens, we need to complete an electronic travel authorization to travel to the United Kingdom. Northern Ireland is in the United Kingdom, so we needed to submit our electronic travel authorization. We did this through the app on our phone. It was the UK ETA app, and it all went pretty well, except for we had problems scanning our chip on our passport. It never really would do that, but they had a workaround so that we can put in some other information and then submit our request for the ETA, and lo and behold, in about 3 minutes after we submitted our applications, we were approved and had our authorization. The cost for getting the ETA is about $23 per person.
If you are flying directly from the U.S., you're most likely going to fly into the Dublin Airport like we did. We did some research on transportation options to get us from the Dublin Airport to Belfast, and we decided to choose the express bus that goes from Dublin to Belfast. You can go into the website or the app and purchase your tickets in advance. We will put a link in the description.
We were scheduled to arrive in Dublin at 7:30 in the morning, and we did so, and we're on time. We got off the plane quickly, got our luggage, and we're out to the bus stop for the Dublin Express by about 8:10 in the morning. We had purchased tickets for the 9:50 bus, but there are bus agents right at the bus stop there. We were able to talk to the bus agents and switch our ticket from the 9:50 bus to the 8:50 bus. You can also just walk off the airplane and out of the airport and purchase your tickets right there at the bus stop from those bus agents. In addition to going to Belfast, there are Dublin Express buses that go into Dublin itself and make several stops around the city.
We had chosen our hotel well, as it was only a 5-minute walk from the Grand Central Station where the express bus dropped us off in Belfast. After this experience, we highly recommend the Dublin Express bus to Belfast. It was easy to use and the price was very reasonable.
So let's look at the hotel next. We stayed at the Flint Hotel on Howard Street in Belfast. We found it to be a great location because we wanted to be in easy walking distance to Grand Central Station and other public transportation available in Belfast.
I'm going to put up a map to show you exactly where the Flint Hotel is located in Belfast. I will also point out that there were a good number of other hotels available in the area. The Leonardo, the Europa, the Fitzwilliam, and the Travel Lodge. If you're looking for a U.S. loyalty brand hotel, there is a Hampton Hotel and a Holiday Inn Belfast Center Hotel available as well.
We chose the Flint Hotel not only for its location, but also because it had a kitchenette in the room. With staying in Belfast for an entire week, we thought that the kitchenette would be very helpful for making our stay more comfortable. We did use our kitchenette every morning to make our breakfast in the room. We found the Flint to be comfortable and unique and boutique-y. The cost for the week was just under $1,200 or $170 per day. We'll give you a look at the room now. Hello and welcome to the tour of our room in Belfast. We are staying at the Flint Hotel. We picked it for a couple of reasons. One is the fact that it is closely located to a lot of things, the Grand Central Station, a lot of the places we're going to go to, and some of the features that I'll show you in this video. So, okay, we've just come through the door. We will check out the bathroom first. We have a stand-up shower with rain shower and wand. And then all the other great amenities of a bathroom, right? It is comfortable. And one of the things that I like when we're staying in some place a little bit longer is to have a sofa to sit on. It has this kind of closet storage area, though I'll have to say it could be bigger. We don't have a lot of hanging space, so we're pretty much just living out of our suitcase. The bed was pretty comfortable. Of course, we have the television across from the bed. The other reason we picked this hotel is they had these kitchenettes in it. So we're able to easily make at least breakfast for ourselves in this space. And it's also kind of nice to have an extra sink besides just the bathroom. This place is not huge, but it has most of the comforts we need for this week-long stay in Belfast.
The Flint was also an easy walking distance of restaurants and several pubs. And for a little farther walk, you could also go to restaurants and pubs in the Cathedral Quarter. Around the corner from the Flint Hotel was a Tesco mini grocery store. There was also a takeaway convenience store, and there was a storefront for the hop-on, hop-off bus that also sold packages for other tours as well.
We can certainly recommend the Flint as a unique boutique hotel to stay at. If we return to Belfast, we certainly wouldn't have any reservation with staying there again, or we might try one of the other hotels in the area.
As we mentioned in our Belfast Adventure video, we used the hop-on, hop-off bus for 2 days to do sightseeing in the city. This was a great way to see the city, hear about its history, and get from place to place.
For our first day's ticket, we combined it with a ticket to Titanic Belfast, which probably saved us a little bit of money. The price for 2 people for that day was $112. We extended our hop-on, hop-off bus a couple days later for a second day on the bus, and we could do that for just £5 each, or $13.50 in US dollars.
Another spot where we stopped and got off and did a tour was at the Crumlin Road Gale. This self-guided tour was $35 for the both of us. This tour was interesting because it dove into life and punishment from Victorian times up until the 20th century.
We planned a special day to travel west of Belfast to visit some cousins of mine. So we got the challenge and adventure of getting a bus to go to that village. We went down to Grand Central Station, and we initially asked one of the information helpers there to help us go on to the kiosk to buy a ticket for the bus. And when she did that, though, she noticed that it would be better for us just to go to the customer service and buy a ticket for like a Zone 4 ticket for the day. So we did that, and we were just going to take the regular bus, but then we came back and we saw that there was an express bus leaving soon and stopping at the village that we wanted to get off on. We hopped on to that express bus and made our way out to the village. When we got to the village, we had kind of decided to meet my cousins at the churchyard because I thought we could look around there while we waited for them. But unfortunately, it was that stormy day. It was raining. We walked down to the church and walked around a little bit, but we were starting to get kind of wet. Called the cousins, and they said, let's meet in this cafe. So we made our way back and went to that cafe and waited for them.
For our return trip back on the bus, we were wondering, where's the bus stop? There was not a specific bus stop. So The owner of the cafe, a very delightful lady, took us under her wing, and she told us, when the bus comes, it will stop here outside the cafe. So she was very attentive to our needs, told us where to stand and where to get outside in time to catch that bus.
Our conclusion for this experience is if you want to travel by bus in Northern Ireland, or Ireland for that matter, I think they have a modern and convenient system for doing that.
Before we finish talking about Belfast, if this information has been helpful to you, please leave a comment below. Also, please give us a like and subscribe.
Now let's talk about organizing our day tour to the Giant's Causeway. I shopped and booked this tour on Viator. There's actually quite a few different tours offered like this from Belfast, and so you have a good selection to choose from. A couple of things I looked for were, first, what were the other places that the tour was going to stop? And one of the highlights of Odyssey tours that we picked was that it was going to stop at the Bushmills Distillery, and it sounded good to us. And the second factor, and maybe the biggest factor, was that its meeting point where we would meet the bus and where we would be dropped back off was only a block from our hotel. When I checked out some of the other tours, their meeting places were not nearly as convenient as that. So my hint here is that if you are picking out a day tour from a city, make sure that the meeting point for the tour is someplace that you can get to easily. The cost for our day tour for the both of us was $107.
One important thing we will share is that Belfast gets very busy on the weekend. We could certainly tell a difference in the crowds and the activity level Monday through Wednesday as it compared to Thursday through Sunday. If you want to eat out at a restaurant on the weekend in Belfast, we highly recommend that you get a reservation at the place where you want to eat. We tried on the weekend to go out to a couple of pubs, but it just didn't work. We didn't have reservations, and the pubs were extremely crowded and noisy. So we opted to go back to our hotel.
For dining, however, we were really on our travel eating sketch. Most days we ate 2 meals a day. We would have a good breakfast in our room in the morning, and then we would have lunch sometime between noon and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And those were good sized lunches. So we really weren't particularly hungry in the evening. We would just have a light snack and a drink. However, if we were hungry and had a lighter lunch, we did have an evening meal once or twice. We find this preferable to eating 3 heavy meals a day when you're traveling.
Our meals out, which were mostly lunches, ranged in price for the both of us between $30 and $60. Most were closer to that lower end $30 figure. It depended on what we ate and if we opted to have a drink during the meal.
For me, I really appreciated having those quiet evenings in the room to rest and recover for the next day. And we kind of enjoyed some classic British television at the same time.
Our departure from Belfast had us going back to the Grand Central Station. On the trip back, we decided to have an Irish train experience, so we took the train. And it was very convenient because the train station and the bus station are both located within Grand Central.
We'll note, however, that if you're going to take the train as opposed to the bus, you need to leave yourself just a little bit more time to walk there, because walking down to the train platforms and walking down the platform to the train car you're going to get into will take a little bit more walking time than just going to the buses.
Mm-hmm. Our train tickets from Belfast to Dublin were $89 for the both of us. It probably would have been a little cheaper to take the express bus back to Dublin. However, we wanted that experience of an Irish train journey.
In arriving at Dublin, we probably could have managed to find a streetcar or bus for the city that would take us over to our hotel, but instead we opted for the taxi. With with bringing your luggage along and everything, that's kind of difficult to get onto buses where there's a lot of people in that public conveyance. And so our taxi from the Dublin main train station to our hotel was just $18, and that was probably a good bargain to get directly to our hotel with our luggage and no hassle.
Well, folks, that brings us to Dublin. We look forward to sharing with you videos of our adventures in and out of Dublin, and you can look forward to seeing these in the coming weeks.
If you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give us a like and subscribe. Until we see you again, we'll say
Goodbye.
goodbye.